This is an ABP Live Podcast.
Waterlogged streets. A woman electrocuted after slipping from a scooter on a flooded road. Bottleneck traffic. Power outages. White-collar workers hitching on a tractor to reach office. Boats deployed in flooded suburbs. Such is the case of high-tech city Bengaluru. The IT capital of the country is currently witnessing one of its worst urban flood situations in recorded history. And on top of all this, there's going to be no respite for the city whatsoever, because Bengaluru is slated to receive heavy rain, thunderstorms and lightning till 9th September. But the question is, why is the IT hub flooded? And is this a man-made calamity? Let's discuss all of this today. Welcome to Clear Cut, only on ABP Live Podcast. This is your newsman Rudrashish. And today, let's talk about the urban floods in Bangalore. Now, what is urban flooding? Urban flooding refers to the inundation of property in a built environment, particularly in more densely populated areas caused by rain, falling on increased amounts of impervious surfaces and overwhelming the capacity of drainage systems. So, according to the Indian Meteorological Department, in August this year, Bengaluru received 370 millimeters of rainfall, falling only a little short of the all-time record of 387.1 millimeter of rainfall, which occurred in August 1998. Prior to that, the city received 98.5 millimeter of rainfall in August 2021, 75.9 millimeter of rainfall in August 2020, 146.8 millimeters in 2019, 158.3 millimeters in 2018, and 351.8 millimeters in 2017. But this year's downpour has turned out to be a nightmare for the people of the city. But why is Bengaluru getting flooded? Now, Bengaluru's outer ring road, which connects the city to the tech hubs, often gets flooded due to the lack of infrastructure. Chief Minister Basavaraj Bomani found that the major reason for the flooding of the area was the encroachment of stormwater drains. The width of the drains at Outer Ring Road has come down from 30 feet to 4 feet. The stormwater drains are overburdened because of sewage and precipitation. There's also quite a few engineering flaws in the development of the road, such as the lack of culverts. Now, another big reason for this urban flood is rainbow layout in Sarjapur. Even in light drizzle, the Rainbow Drive layout gets flooded. This Rainbow Drive layout area was created 20 years ago near a drain that was used primarily for irrigation. Over a period of time, the buildings which were constructed close to the layout raised their height, thereby making the area a soup bowl. The excess water from the surrounding villages is being directed to the Rainbow Drive layout. Now, how is the administration handling this flood situation? Legal procedures are being looked, after which the properties encroaching on the drain would be demolished. An order was promulgated for the construction of a drain on a public-private model that will carry rainwater from the layout to the Sarjapur culvert. With the change in the topography of the area, a new drain design is being looked into. CM Bomani, during his inspection, has ordered the demolition of all constructions done on the stormwater drains. Now, it has been reported that IT companies suffered a loss of Rs 225 crores on 30th August alone, as their employees were stuck in traffic for around 5 hours. Karnataka currently contributes over $58 billion in IT exports. The umbrella group for the IT sector, the Outer Ring Road Companies Association, advised employees to work from home. A number of companies, including Indian food delivery service Swiggy and Wall Street investment bank Goldman Sachs, are now working from home. CM Bomani, however, has assured the IT companies that a discussion will be held over the estimated loss of Rs 225 crores per day. And now we have Senior Program Manager of Water Program at Center for Science and Environment, Ms. Sushmita Sengupta, on the show today.
So, welcome to Clear Cut, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
So my first question to you is, do you think urban planning and architecture is the main reason for the current flood situation in Bengaluru?
To some extent, yes, because we have seen that the planners actually look at this water bodies as piece of land. So as a result, what is happening, concretization of these urban water bodies are taking place. Especially if you see the city of lakes like Bangalore, or if you can compare it with Udaipur, where even central part of India, where Bhopal, where you have these lakes, and these cities are known for its lakes. Now, what is happening due to rapid expansion of cities and due to mindless urbanization? What is happening? Since the planners are not looking at these water bodies as water bodies, but as a piece of land, so it gets really encroached, and high buildings are coming up. And as a result, what is happening? The flood events are increasing because these water bodies are actually the sponges in the city, which absorb your, high flood. Even if you see the Bangalore case, you will see that the lakes, which were once joined by something called locally as Raja Kulave, that also got encroached. As a result, the overflow cannot take place and the flooding is happening. Or what is happening, it is becoming the last resort for dumping waste. So it gets polluted and choked.
Exactly.
So these are the reasons for actually urban floods, because urban floods is a very unique thing. You cannot compare it with the floods that happen in other parts of the country, which are not urban areas. So they need some specific, I should say, legal teeth to protect them.
Well, talking about infrastructural improvement, what are the major infrastructural improvements that should be brought about immediately in urban planning in Bengaluru?
See, what immediately can be done is obviously the protection of the lake. If there are encroachments, there are many legal cases that are going, not only about the lake, but I'm talking about whole of India, where the lake is not the only part of the water body. These are all rainwater lakes, so the water is coming from the catchment, which can be a highland. So protection of that catchment is also very important. Many legal cases are there, but as I was telling you, you need a special case for protecting the urban water bodies, because these are special water bodies. You cannot compare it to the water bodies actually present in other parts of the country. So because these are in the middle of the cities, and so the catchment, as well the system that takes the rainwater from the catchment into the water bodies needs to be protected. And also, obviously, the water bodies need to be protected, and there should be some legal authority to actually protect these water bodies so that they are not encroached. So mainly they are encroached when it is dried up. It is very easy to show it as a piece of land and get encroached. So all the protection means now what is happening, the catchment is under one department, and the water body is under another department, and they work in silos. So such things should not happen. Everybody should work together, right from the planner to hydrogeologists to the city engineers. They should all work together and protect the lakes as well as the catchment.
All right. So, ma'am, there has been some distressing news coming from Bengaluru as well, as a woman skidded off her scooter and was electrocuted. And white-collar workers are now hitching on a tractor to go to office. Boats are now coming out in the suburbs of the high-tech city. So, do you have any safety information for the people down in Bengaluru who have to go out every day no matter what happens? Do you have any safety information tidbits for them to stay safe from these kind of things?
I think please repeat the question. I did not get it.
So, ma'am, there has been some distressing news coming from Bengaluru as well. A woman skidded off a scooter and was electrocuted on a waterlogged street. White-collar workers are now hitching on a tractor to go to office. And boats are now out in the suburbs of the high-tech city. So, to prevent these electrocutions, like in the waterlogged streets, there are wires laying around. So it is very dangerous for these people. But some people, some office goers have to risk it. So do you have any safety information from them for them? If you could just tell them how to stay safe in this situation.
It's difficult to tell because, there are other issues also coming in, not only the planning of the city, but how the city authorities are working. So whether they have proper pumping systems to pump out this water. So other issues are coming. But as a person who works on water and water conservation, my main focus is actually to protect the water bodies, to see that it is not encroached. They are well protected. We have a wetland act, but urban water bodies need a separate protection. So my focus is on that. But the city authorities should surely have these plans in place, so that there is no electrocution or there is like pumping systems, pumping out the water from the cities very quickly. And there should be rainwater harvesting along the stormwater drains, so that that also helps in preventing the waterlogging systems. So those things also come in a package along with that.
And ma'am, all the dirty waterlogged streets, I guess these waters are mixing with the drinking water as well, as far as I believe. So do you think the people should take extra precaution while drinking water? Should they boil it repeatedly?
See, right now I don't have any data showing that the drinking water is getting contaminated. But surely there is a possibility that it may get. But I'm not sure because I don't have the data to prove my point. So if there is any chance of contamination, because the sanitation, because the toilets also can leak, it can crack, and sewerage pipe can crack, and that may look and get into the drinking water system also. So those things can happen, but in that case, surely people should actually have chlorine tablets. They should boil their water. And city authorities should be extra careful. But again, I need to tell you that I don't have the data to prove my point, because I am not sure. I did not see any data saying that the drinking water got contaminated with the flood water.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us on the show today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So that's all the news and scoops I have for you. Today's episode was produced by Lalit. This is your newsman Rudrashish Kanjilal signing off. Have a wonderful evening and keep listening to ABP Live Podcast.
This is an ABP Live Podcast.